up, good agents? We've got Mark Pattison with us. Thanks for setting this up, Dan. I appreciate it, buddy. And shift over the co-host controls to me just in case. And welcome, Mark. I think we met when you first started in real estate back 4 years ago.
Yes.
And like maybe a few months after. And then we kept on seeing each other at different events. I think at a few Tom Ferry events. And then we connected, and then we became friends. And I'm like, dude, you need to do a webinar with us. And the years passed and we never did one. So
yes,
we finally have you here, man. And I'm really happy to have you here because even though we waited, you've just gotten better over the last few years. I mean, the last year, the numbers you just gave me, 126 million in volume and 242 units last year. That's insane.
It seems so small.
You know what? Maybe for you, but
I'm a wuss. I feel like I meet so many people that have so much more, but yes, it just means there's more opportunities.
Yeah, but dude, you're doing this in San Diego too, where you have some pretty great competition out there, right? And a lot of people are out there that like Daniel Beer, Kyle Whistle, and a few other of our friends are doing great. So great job on that, man. But let's get right into it. How did you do this in less than 4 years? I mean, tell me where you started and what you thought of when you said, let's build a team.
So I started out my career as a buyer's agent on a team. So I was out showing properties. You know, I had my max, I had 13 escrows my first year in 1 month close. So it was like 13 in the month of May.
Wow.
That was my first year.
And where did those all come from?
Online leads.
Wow.
So I had a few SOI. I'm not from San Diego either. So I moved to San Diego and said, I'm going to move to Southern California and be a real estate agent. And a lot of people, a lot of people laughed at me and they're like, oh, dime a dozen. I had a lot of people telling me, good luck. You're going to fail. I had that said to my face.
What?
Yeah. So I was just like, well, I was naive. I didn't know how competitive it was. Started out as a buyer's agent, and I figured the best place to do anything was to be on a team. So that's what I did. I signed up on a team, started selling, and did very well my first year. And, just took everything. And like you said, how many times we've ran into each other? I go to a lot of events, and I come back home and I implement.
I think that's the difference from a lot of other agents out there, because you actually, I see you at events, like every event that we go to, we see each other. And you go there and you actually do things about it. So tell me the transition from a team member into, I don't even know, was it a solo agent and then a team, or was it then just directly into a team that you built?
It was directly into a team. So I was a buyer's agent on a team. I was the number one agent for the team that I was on, and transitioned from being there, stayed on that team, but had team members underneath me.
Oh.
So launched from there. And I always was on that team. And then I kind of started growing so much, he suggested that I checked out Big Block because Big Block was more set up for a team. So I started messaging Big Block and then kind of went to there, and that's been where I'm at.
Dude, that's awesome. All right. So tell me now the beginning of building a team. When we build teams, so I've seen different types of teams. Some teams are built on a referral. Some teams are built on getting a lot of listings through mailers. Some teams are built different ways. How is your team built? Like, how do you feed its growth?
So for my start, definitely I was a buyer's agent. I wasn't a listing agent or a head listing agent for a team. I was a buyer's agent with 1 year experience before I started deciding to do a team. Okay. So I had very little listing experience. So our focus for the last 2.5 years where I've had my team has been buyers. And everyone had told me, you got to list to last. You got to list to last, all this information. Well, we focused on buyers where I felt a lot of newer agents were focusing on the buyers. Mm-hmm. And I trained at such a high level that my agents were just knocking it out of the park with buyers, because all the list to last agents don't want to deal with buyers. So the only good people that are going after buyers I felt in the area was my team. So it was very weird. It was a very weird strategy, whereas a lot of people want listings because they don't want their phone ringing and have to go do showings. Well, in your first year or two of real estate, like, you kind of just got to do it.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you on that because I did the same thing as I was growing my team. Everybody was telling us, "Hey, look, it's all about listings. Go get the listings. Listings are going to make you last longer." And we went for buyers. So
Well, you
tell
know what
me
happens? You know what all of our buyers have to do?
what?
Sell. So, so I just got a buyer and I got a seller. So I got two for every single one of my efforts. Because now all of our buyers are now selling.
That's true, man. So where are your buyers primarily coming from?
So we're doing a lot of online lead generation. So we have our own leads that we create, and we buy leads from, you know, the typical Realtor, Zillow, Trulia, Homes.com. I would say is that I get a lot of feedback from other teams and a lot of other agents, and they'll say Zillow sucks or Realtor.com sucks or Homes.com. And the only way that you personally can know is if you track and measure. So I track and measure all my lead sources. I know which ones are working for me. So for sure right now, I'm not necessarily doing all those lead sources, but you personally have to try it out for your market and your personality and what you work well with. For me, like some of those lead sources didn't work. So I cut it and I threw all of the money into another lead source. So I would have only known that by tracking and measuring and looking what my expenses were, what my ROI was, and how long it took to get there. You know, if you're throwing $5,000 or if you're new and you're throwing $500 at a lead source and you're not getting a return at all on it, like you either up your skills or you change your lead source. If you're amazing with your skills, it's the lead. If you're not amazing with your skills, it's you.
That makes sense, man. So you've been testing out different lead sources, and would you say that the lead sources you have right now are primarily Zillow, Realtor.com, Google PPC, and Facebook, or how does that
we don't do any PPC.
Okay.
I've been told, and I don't know why, but we've done PPC and we just haven't had any luck. So in major markets, I've always heard it's very competitive to buy that pay-per-click route, and it's very hard long turnaround. People are looking 18 months out. Yeah. I would rather spend more money as long as it makes sense to a certain dollar amount and have those people close in 2 to 3 months than spend little amounts of money and have them close over 2 years.
That makes sense. I like that. All right. So now let's say you've picked your sources to gather these buyers that also become sellers, right? Because I've seen it happen. You're right. Now tell me your team structure and who gets what leads. How does that look?
So we rank our agents 4 different quartiles. So depending on their lead conversion and depending on their experience and after a while, I just know who is who. So we go in order when we have lead shifts. So the way we divide it up, a lot of people will do something called like, what is it called when they just like click to claim and it's like.
Yeah, speed to lead, right?
Speed to lead kind of style. We do that.
Round robin it too. I mean, depending on
we don't do round robin. We do speed to lead, but we only do it. So 2 agents per lead shift. So what the lead shifts are, we have 9 to noon, noon to 3, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday. It's kind of like floor time for the old days. When
you have 3 shifts online.
Yep. And they sit in the office. They have to be in our office, and 2 agents per shift. Because say a lead comes in and 1 agent's on the phone with that lead and another lead comes in, we want to make sure that we're responding to that lead within 5 seconds.
Okay.
Not 30 seconds, not 5 minutes, all that.
What does that response look like for somebody that's on floor time?
Hey, this is Mark. You inquired about 123 Main Street. When would you like to see the home?
Perfect.
Super simple. Call, hang up. They don't answer. Call, hang up. Call, hang up. Don't leave a voicemail. We do war dialing. If they answer on the 3rd try and they're like, why are you calling me 3 times in a row? I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was trying to leave you a voicemail, but you inquired about 123 Main Street. When would you like to see the house?
That's a beautiful shift, dude. I love that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But you weren't really leaving them a voicemail. And then you just text them. Then you text them, hey, you inquired about 123 Main Street. Because sometimes people will be at work clicking around and they can't answer their phone because they're in a cubicle, but they can text. And they don't know if it's an automated dialer or who's calling them. So you text them. So we do an acronym. It's called C-Test. And I made this up. I think I made it up. Or I stole it from someone.
It's one of those two for sure.
It works. So it's call. So it's C-Test, C-T-E-S-T. It's call, text, email, search, meaning set them up on a search, and task, meaning set a follow-up task. So if you call them 3 times in a row like we talked about. And then if not, then you text them. And then if they don't answer that, then you email them. And I always do a bomb email. If your person answers your phone, don't go and do the text and the email. Only do it accordingly. So don't set it up on automation. Automation's great, but you got to make it make sense.
All right. So now you've been doing this for, you've had a team for about 3 years or two and a half?
Probably 2.5. We've had an office space for 2 years.
All right. So in 2.5 years, you've gone from zero. Well, it's zero as a team, right?
Yeah.
No, because you were your own.
I did 36 deals, and then I did 73 deals, and then I did 116, I think, or maybe no, 100. Yeah, probably 116, and then I did 242.
I love that, dude. All right. So are you currently working in your team? Like, are you listing and buying and doing all that, or no?
No, I will work with SOI and past clients if they request me and if they are like amazing clients. So I just wrote an offer today for 1.25. It's an SOI person that I added to my SOI many months ago, sent them my mailers. They wanted to look at houses, so now I'm showing them. But if it were an online lead or something, I don't handle any of that. I help.
You're a true team. Got it. You're a true team, right?
I don't list. I don't do anything.
Got it. Beautiful. There's a difference. So for those of you listening in, there are teams that call themselves teams where the leader is actually working in the team on a daily basis, listing and taking out clients to show property. And then there's the people that are working on their business like you are. You're helping it grow, you're managing, right? You're looking for that vision, right? That's what you're in charge of it, dude. Growth. That's what we're doing, sustained growth. And so with all these online leads coming through, your database is just growing massively and rapidly. So tell me, how do you maintain this database so that people remember you from the ones that you're closing? Because 242 closings is a lot, right? Yeah. Are you guys just kind of forgetting about them, or how are you making sure that they remember you on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis?
You should have saw my Christmas party for our team, Porch Light, at my house. We had like 200 something people here.
Oh,
I bought frozen meatballs. I'm so cheap. I brought frozen meatballs and did crock pots and like made all the food, didn't even cater it, had sponsors. Because all that matters is what you take home at the end of the day. So you can spend. And so keeping in touch with these clients, what we do is we have a lot of vendors sponsored. Mm-hmm. So we had escrow, our handyman. We had people that actually are it's their clients, they came in and sponsored different stuff. So we did banners and had a good event, but that's how you keep in touch with past clients without harassing them. We do 4 events a year. We did a pumpkin patch event. We do happy hour at the office. So we did a pride party for San Diego Pride. We did another one for like a concert thing in August at our office. And we just buy a couple $100 worth of alcohol and we have a little get together in our office. And while at the office, we give out drink tickets. 2 per person, but we try to do this and we don't get everyone to do it, but you have to write a review to get a drink ticket. So,
wait, do you do it on the spot right there?
Yeah.
Like break out your phone. I need a review. Holy crap. That's a brilliant idea.
If you want a drink ticket, we were joking around. We were saying for our Christmas party, we're like, Susie, if you want another meatball, you have to write us another review.
Hold on, dude. I'm writing that one down. You want a drink ticket? You need to review me right now. Just give me
like Zillow. We have almost 500 reviews on Zillow for a young team. We're actually number 2 team in San Diego for most reviews.
Wow, 500 reviews?
Yeah, we're at 472, I think, or 474. And then we ask everyone. So if you sell a home, there's 2 buyers usually. We ask both buyers to write us a review.
Smart.
And you may get 1, you may get 2, you may get 0. So why not ask them both? And it really matters to get all those reviews. And you explain to them, hey, look, when you buy a house and you do upgrades on your home, you're going to want to edit those upgrades on your Zillow profile because it's going to change your Zestimate. And when you change those estimates, so in order to create a profile, you need to write me a review, and then we can start adding those changes as you do it, and it'll change your Zestimate as we go along, which is true. Yeah. If you do any upgrades, it does change their Zestimate, and Zestimates, in my opinion, I don't think it's accurate. People are going to say differently in each market. Yeah. But it helps them increase their Zestimate.
Well, dude, I have a question about this because we've done Zillow too, and we do Zillow, the reviews. What about Google reviews? You guys done those?
Yeah, we've done them. We just haven't focused on them because I'm really adamant about beating the number 1 team in San Diego. He's my friend, and I just want to beat him. It's Kyle Whistle. He's the number 1 team in San Diego, and I admire him, and so I just want to beat their team.
I love Kyle. We all love Kyle. He's so nice.
I like him. Yeah, and talk about like sharing, and that's who I kind of surrounded myself with, was people that just are super grateful and willing to share. And every market's different, so I'm going to say some stuff, and people are going to be like, "Oh, that sucks. That's dumb." I'm sure. Great, it works for me, and I probably am dumb, but I'm happy.
Yeah, look, it works in your area, dude. You take what you can from what you're listening to. That's why we're doing this. So, yeah, dude, after you beat Kyle, then go to Google. Do the same thing.
Yes. Google, Facebook, all the different places to get reviews. So that's our way of keeping in touch with our past clients. We're touching them. We try each client 60 times a year.
Each client 60 times. And this is past client, right?
Past clients. Yes. Client. We throw SOI in that mix too, because if it's people that know, like, and trust you, you don't necessarily need to come up with two systems. We invite our past clients, our hot leads, and our friends to all of our parties. They don't have to have bought a house from us, because when they're there and they haven't purchased a house from us, they kind of felt left out.
That's true. I see what you're saying. So there was one thing you just reminded me when you said that. Yesterday we interviewed a top agent out of Long Beach. Her name is Barbara Betts, and it's just her and her husband. But she said something with what you said. You said you're touching them 60 times a year as your past. That's awesome. First of all, some people say it's spammy, but I think it's awesome.
No, it's value. We do value, and it's funny.
Good. You mix it up.
Yeah.
I love it. So people are like, well, the question is always, well, why are you touching them so much? They're not going to buy again. And then Barbara said something, and this was brilliant. She said, well, I'm not selling to them. I'm selling through them. Right. And I thought, oh, that's such a great quote. I'm going to steal that, Barbara.
Yeah. Raving Fans.
It makes sense. What'd you say? Raving Fans.
Raving Fans. It's a great book.
100%, dude. 100%.
We just read that with our team. We just read Raving Fans with our team last month. We read a book a month.
I love it. So you just read Raving Fans. We're finishing up Mindset by Carol Dweck.
Oh yeah, I've got that book.
That's a really good one too. All right, so back to sustained growth, Mark, because you've been able to do this so fast. The trajectory is awesome. How are you maintaining the culture of the team? That's a big thing.
So I have 0 friends. My friends are all my agents. So tomorrow at 8 a.m., we're all going hiking together, because we hike every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. And then we have at 6 o'clock, we have game night at my house with the whole team and all of our family members.
That same day?
That same day. We have like 3 events, like all the time. Every week we have events and things we're hanging out together. We do a huddle Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We used to do it every week or every day of the week, but we got kind of like a little busy.
Yeah.
We do a team meeting every single week. I have a beginners team meeting called Back to Basics, which is a lot of just like contracts and buyer consult. And then I have a more advanced team meeting that says more listings and developed on that side, so that my agents that have been around a bit aren't bored.
And do you lead those calls, or do you have like team leaders in the team?
So I lead the team meetings unless I'm out of town at an event or something. Mm-hmm. And then I have an agent on my team who's really stepped up. 1 year in the business, was a waiter at Cheesecake Factory, and he sold 37 homes.
Oh, damn, dude.
In San Diego. He's killing it. And he stepped up and he started leading the huddle Monday, Wednesday, Friday with my transaction coordinator, a girl on our team that does the same thing. So she's leading it. But what I found and why I assigned that role to them is that when you learn something really well, there's a few different ways of learning: reading, writing, listening, and then the best way is teaching. So if you have to teach someone that same stuff and regurgitate it, then you really got it. And I think that's why he was able to do 37 deals, is I kind of put him into a mini leadership role, and now he's crushing it. And he's teaching all of these agents all this stuff, which is, it's great. And he's just a natural leader as well. So it's fun to put him into that role.
What's his name?
Joe Vahidi.
Joe Vahidi.
He sold 37 deals in his first year in real estate.
And did most of those come from online sources, Sphere? What's the mix?
Yeah, all online. So he did probably like maybe 3 or 4 from his own sources. Okay. The rest were from me.
I love that, dude. That's a massive boost of confidence too.
Yep. And this is the crazy thing, is what everyone may disagree with me on, is that on the first deal, yes, I paid for the lead. I need a split from it. He has a crazy high conversion, so I'm making great return on it. But say he stays in touch with that contact and he sells that home again, it then becomes a different split, and it becomes his lead. And it's my way of saying, like, dude, you're awesome. Congrats. So basically the first year or two on my team is kind of building your foundation. I give you the leads, and then you nurture that pack of leads. That's your raving fan group. And then now you're going to turn that into your book of business.
God, that they become your referral source, right?
Exactly. And then when they get stuff from those leads and they close that lead again, it's theirs. It's my agent's lead. I don't take part of it.
Oh, dude, I love that.
So they're making a killing. It may not be the best way for certain team leaders, but it works for me in the fact that I'm kind of, I don't know if you ever read the book Go Giver.
Yeah.
I'm give, and then everything just lands in my lap.
Dude, I just interviewed Bob Berg. So I texted, since you read Go Giver, right?
Yeah.
I texted Bob Berg 2 days ago, and I asked him, what was the number one lesson that you've learned from somebody else saying, hey, look, somebody teaching him, right? He broke it down into a couple of sentences. He says, if you want to make a lot of money in sales, then don't have making money as your target. Your target is serving others. When you hit the target, you'll get a reward, and that reward will come in the form of money. And you can do with that money whatever you choose, but never forget, the money is simply the reward for hitting the target. It's the target itself. The target is serving others. That's what you need to aim at. I was like,
yep.
That's beautiful. That's what you just said.
And being a team leader, I'm serving my agents, serving the agents, serving the clients. So I've got to make sure that my agents are well taken care of. There's a lot of team leaders out there that it's a me situation. And that's the last thing I want. I want to make sure my agents are feeling praise. They deserve more for my company than I do. And the only way you're going to do that, and it comes down, it can be culture. It can be a few things, but ultimately in real estate and what we're doing in the hustle, it's money and culture. Like if you got those two down, they're good. How
would you say, besides the weekly get-togethers at your place and the huddles and the meetings, how does your team help itself grow? Like, what's the synergy like? How do you maintain them getting along with each other?
It's all about hiring. So in 2 years, we've never had one disagreement in our entire office. Never one petty, never one, oh, this agent did this, nothing.
Wow. All right. So
I've never had a complaint from one other agent to another. I've never had any of that.
Tell me the hiring process. What's it like? What do you look for?
So I've never actively been successful with just like going out and recruiting and finding people that I would want to bring on. What I have found is people that are attracted to our culture and the people that we provide. So not only my team, but the vendors we hire or the vendors we work with are all the same mentality. They're all about helping others. And if you hire that and you naturally are that way, I feel like you attract that. So today, for example, I was role playing with 3 agents that are on the newer end, and 2 more experienced agents were walking by, and they stopped and gave their feedback and said, exactly what Mark's saying, you need to cut your words down to about 20% from what you've been saying. And they're like, hey, I've been listening to you on the phone because I'm in the other room. Whenever you talk to someone, you're saying too much. Cut your words down to about 20%. You're scripting. It's just too much blah, 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 blah. This came from another agent helping out another agent on the team. That agent's not making any money from this agent. But why does that agent want to help that person?
Yeah.
Because that's just who they are. All
right. So you're hiring right from the very beginning. You're looking for character, people that want to give without necessarily having to receive anything. That's a nice culture, man.
Yeah. So like 3 of our agents are big brothers, big sisters with Big Brothers of America. I'm a big brother. So I think it starts from the top. If you're leading, like I've had a little brother for 6 years.
Wow.
Another girl, she closed 34 deals her first year in real estate, and she was a bartender for 10 years. She didn't even know how to work a computer. She's amazing. Her name's Samantha O'Brien. She's like a rock star. She helps a blind lady go grocery shopping every 2 weeks.
No way.
And then within our group, we have like different text chains going on for accountability. So I have one with 2 or 3 people. We have to do an ab workout every single day for the first quarter. We have to screenshot our ab workout from the app that we all share and share it to the group. We have another one where we're all learning Spanish, or there's a girl learning German, there's a girl learning Swedish, and there's a guy learning Spanish. There's probably like 6 of us in that group. We screenshot and we share our and some of our spouses are in that group too. We share our app for our language studies. Has nothing to do with real estate, but that's culture. Plus we're the only friends we have. So
Yeah, I love that. I love that part, dude. So how big is your team and what's it structured like?
So we have 21 agents. We have a North team, so San Diego County is very large if you think of it. So we have a team that's in the hub by Balboa Park. That's our main, where our office is, where everything is. There's a North team of 3 agents in Carlsbad area.
Okay.
And then we have 2 agents in Riverside, which is another 2 hours north.
Oh, cool. I didn't even know you were at Riverside now. That's awesome.
We launched in Riverside at the end, like fall of last year. And last year we probably did, there's 2 agents there and they're both brand new and they did 6 deals. So it was like getting up and running. I'm starting to get their leads running to them really well. And it's working out fun. But this is the first time I've ever kind of done like an expansion team.
I love that. What systems are you using right now for your team? Like CRMs, tools, things that are helping out? Yeah,
so we have FirePoint for the back end, and we have YLopo integrated with FirePoint for the front end. So YLopo, if you guys have not used it, and FirePoint, if you have not used it, both are amazing. I've used other systems. I've switched around a little bit just because I like to do the A/B testing. Tristan, I know you've tried every system. But I don't get things for free, so I have to pay a startup and all that stuff.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, so I'm on FirePoint and YLopo, great systems. And then my lead sources are all automated into it, and I have it by zip code. So if it comes in, it goes to that lead or to that area. For my smaller areas where I only have 3 agents and 2 agents, it's that speed to lead thing. I don't have lead shifts.
All right. So question about on the YLopo side, because that's one thing that I've been using for a longer time. And do you find that the leads that you get from online, wherever your sources, do you find that the dynamic ads, the retargeting through the dynamic ads brings them back to you, or is that not something that you're seeing?
We see it. So it texts you when it says, hey, this person revisited your site from retargeting. So I get those texts on my phone. And then I have to go into the thing I do have to do is like, I go in and I'm like, is someone going after this person? So I kind of look after each little one. It's kind of cool though. It'll be like, hey, Susie Maloney came back after 21 days.
So that's then my question is this then. How are those leads are already assigned to people, or do you assign them once they re-engage because they were dead?
It mixes. So I go and look at the agents. I try to keep less than 100 leads that are lead sources. So you've got your SOI and all that stuff in our FirePoint, but the lead sources that you're actively working with, your past clients and your SOI are over here. Your active ones should be less than 100. If you got 500 leads and you're like going through, it's hard to like actually get anything. So we always try to keep it under 100. So if you don't want a lead, you put it into the pond, because in FirePoint there's ponds, kind of picture buckets. You throw it into the leads you don't want pond. Hey, you may not be able to get in touch with them, or they're not answering. And if you only can keep 100 of them, I find that it's a lot easier. Less is more.
Yeah. You can focus a lot better. So then you limit all of your agents on your team, say, hey, look, keep it to 100, pick your top 100, the rest, throw them back into the pond, work on your 100. When you're done, or you want to get rid of some, then you can pick up 10 more, let go of 10.
Yep. Yeah. And they can go through any of the ponds at any time. But for the lead shifts, we go in the way we order the lead shift is we allow the best agent to pick first. Sometimes the best agent doesn't pick any lead shifts because they've got other things going on. They're too busy that week, or they're going out of town. So we have the best agent, then the next agent gets it. It's a clipboard and it's passed around at the team meetings. So if you want leads, you got to be at the team meeting. You can't make anyone do anything because they're all 1099. So team meetings are optional. But if you want lead shifts,
you're like, well, you know what? If you want leads, you've got to freaking show up.
Yeah, you got to show up. I can't give leads to someone who doesn't, come.
And what are you looking at for a conversion rate here?
I'm not the best at numbers. So on the disc profile, I have like 0C, but I know when it makes sense.
Yeah, I know. You got a gut feeling. It's the same with me.
I can look at it and just say, okay, I can look at our monthly conversion, and I'm not looking for like 5%, which 5% on a lot of these lead sources is good. But you really got to look at your cost per lead, and I know what my dollar amount of what I won't pay for a cost per lead. And that's where I found out. And through my certain sources, I know on this source, I won't pay more than $100 per lead. On this source, I won't pay more than $90 per lead. And then that's what I found out over time, because I measured in the beginning. And now my agent's skills are so high, I don't necessarily have to worry about that. But in the beginning, I think it's very important that you measure that.
How do you maintain your agent skills high or higher? And how do they keep learning?
This morning, 8 a.m., we were role-playing in the office all together. So we do role-playing, which some of my agents have been on in real estate for 3 years, 6 years. 6 years is the most. We just got a guy that moved to San Diego and he joined our team. But most of them are newer. But even with 1 year, 2 years, 3 years experience, they're all role playing all the time.
I love it. What about events? You see that they're going to a lot of events or no?
Meaning like Tom Ferry. Well, we do like Tom Ferry. We do the Summit, which is like the big one for him.
Yep.
We don't necessarily do a ton of other things, but there's I think Winner Circle, which is the top 5% of our brokerage.
Oh yeah, I love Winner Circle, dude. That's a good thing that Big Block does.
5 of our agents got into Winner Circle. So 5 out of 50 for the whole brokerage are from Porchlight.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So
I love that, dude.
We have
What about coaching? Are they in coaching? Do you coach them?
Yeah. So some of them have their own coaches. 3 of them have their own Tom Ferry coach. And then I do a one-on-one with them. So I think it's a Tony Robbins thing, but the 8 gardens. So we set up 8 gardens of your life and you have 2 goals per garden per quarter. And we track and measure it every single meeting. So for health, for example, I have to work out 63 times in the first quarter and I track that. And I have accountability partners, like I was saying, the ab thing. I have accountability partners within my team for different things. And there's a lot of text threads that are within my team that I'm not part of because I'm not part of that accountability. So there's health, there's education. I want to read 2 books a month. There's wealth, like what do you want to save? What do you want to do with your money? Mm-hmm. There's all these different things. And so relationships. And so you have each garden of your life and we do these one-on-ones with the team.
How do you communicate with the team so that is there an app, text? Like we communicate by WhatsApp. That's how we all stay together. How do you do it? We
have a text thread and then we did Slack and we went back to the texting. The team's like, I like the texting more. And I'm like, doesn't your phone go off crazy? And they're like, yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I actually prefer texting, but if you have an iPhone.
Yes.
If you don't have an iPhone, it messes everything up.
One guy got a new phone and he got an Android and then he went back that day. No, he went back that day, returned it and got an iPhone.
You're like, dude, you can't be on the team if you don't have an iPhone.
Someone goes, hey, why isn't Virgilio in the text thread anymore? And I said, I fired him. And they're like, really? What did you do? And I was like, he got an Android. No.
Dude, it complicates things. You can't name the messaging thing, and it just looks off.
Kyle Whistle posted that and said, it's all fun and games until someone gets something besides an iPhone.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess that'll be one of my interview questions. No.
Dude, that's so good. All right, buddy. Well, anything you want to end with? Because I had a lot of fun here and a lot of learning here.
I would say with the team, definitely create people that you want to be surrounded with. Hold them accountable because that's what people join teams for. And keep them accountable. If you come up with something, bring it up every single meeting and have a revolving agenda that has a very simple template that you can talk about the same stuff over and over. Because if you come up with these ideas and you don't roll with it, you're not holding them accountable. And I think people join teams to be a part of.
Dude, that's pretty powerful. I think it's the way to grow and sustain that growth is to make sure that accountability stays solid. You hit that right there, bro.
For sure.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
That's the way to growth. And then you're going to hire the most wrong people. You'll fire. I didn't get where I'm at by like just all like perfect. It's still a growth thing. So.
Agreed, man. Agreed. Well, I'll probably see you at the next time. I'll probably see you earlier because I'm always out in San Diego. So
are you coming to Tom Ferry in like a couple weeks here in San Diego?
No, not that one, dude. I wish, but I'll probably see you in the summer for sure.
Yeah.
We're always out there in the summer. Yeah.
Or you can come down to San Diego anytime. I've got a few guest rooms now.
Oh, dude. Nice.
A lot better than my 600 square foot duplex I lived in.
It's much better than that.
Yes.
I love it, dude. Well, thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. And for those of you listening in, Mark is out of San Diego. He covers all of San Diego and now part of Riverside. So if you have any referrals you need to send out, go to Mark Pattison. He leads the Porchlight group. Is that what it is?
Yep. Porchlight team with Big Block Realty.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mark. Appreciate it. Thanks for being on.
Thanks, man.